It is Luca, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I am going to attempt to build a starter home using only 5,000 simoleons. We are in the beautiful world of Moonwood Mill, as you can see. I absolutely adore this world. This is the world that came with the game pack Werewolves. Definitely recommend it if you have not gotten it yet. Really, really well made game pack. The world is beautiful. The items are gorgeous. So a starter home, only 5,000 simoleons. Yes, I've done that before, for sure. You can even go and look on my channel. I've got like a couple speed builds where I've done so. But I want to build like an actual little house. And I also want this to be for a family. I don't want to just have this be for a single sim. We know we can do that. That's easy. In fact, I can even do it for less than 5,000. I've done that before too. But I thought we could try to build like a proper little home today. So let's just, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the build. Really quickly, I just want to say huge thank you to the Creator Network for supporting the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, you can use my creator code luccaowens at checkout. I receive a small commission based on that sale. All you got to do is type in my creator code luccaowens in the little promo section in the EA app anytime you're purchasing any type of DLC for The Sims 4. A big thank you to everyone for using my code, and a big thank you to EA for supporting the channel. Alrighty, y'all, let us begin. So the floor plan is going to be painfully simple. Like, I'm talking so painfully simple. We're just gonna do like 3 tiles right here, and then a couple there. This will be where a kitchen is, and then a tiny little space for like a living area, and then we put a wall right here, and then we're gonna have like a little tiny little bedroom right here. This is going to be for a kid, and then I'm going to do like a little 2x2 bathroom right here, and then we're going to do a little bedroom right here for the parents. Pretty simple little floor plan. This is quite literally the smallest that I can possibly make it without it being like literally so incredibly cramped. I'm sure there's a better way of doing it for sure, but that's what I've got so far. And then, roofing doesn't cost anything, which, we could use to our advantage. We could actually add on a room or something with a roof, but I want this to look like a real home. I want it to feel like something you can really play in and really like expand on. It doesn't feel like a burden to play in. And then for the exterior siding, I'm going to use this from Werewolves. Of course, it's only 2 simoleons a piece, so I'm just going to use the green swatch. Very cute, very typical of me, I know. I am also going to use this stone foundation from the outdoor retreat game pack. I thought that would add, more of like a cabiny vibe as well. Thankfully, a lot of the flooring is pretty much the same price. It's 4 simoleons. So I'm going to use this one right here. This one is from Spooky Stuff. I thought that would be really nice to use because it just looks like some worn floorboards. I'll go ahead and pick out the doors and the windows. I'm going to use this door here from Cottage Living. Just an FYI, this is not pack limited. I am using many different packs to be able to achieve this. Obviously, this is just a fun little way for me to see what I can do with the least amount of simoleons as possible. I am keeping it pretty minimal. I don't even need to be putting 2 windows in the parents' room there, but, I just like having natural light, at least to a degree. Okay, there's some windows down. I'm going to put down some lighting, but I'm not going to keep all of it just because, there is some alternative ways that I'm going to use to light up the space. And then we do need to pick out some interior doors as well. Going to use the ones from Cottage Living because they're 40 simoleons. The literal cheapest doors that you can get, there is also these as well from the base game that are also 40 simoleons. You know what? That's kind of more the vibe, if I'm not mistaken. That feels more correct. Maybe we should use one of those. Honestly, I didn't even think about that earlier. Yeah, this is only 40 simoleons. My only issue is that the store doesn't have a window, and I like the front door to have a window. It just feels wrong. So I am going to just use this one, I guess. Yeah, that looks okay. I quite like that. And then one workaround for the flooring that I really like using is under the masonry section. You can find it under the masonry section here. It's just the construction quality concrete. You can also just use the eyedropper tool on like a blank room like this to find it as well. It's 0 simoleons. And what I like to do with it is, at least for bathrooms and kitchens like this, I can hit Control F and kind of just make my own little pattern. I usually do this like checkerboard pattern because it's pretty common. And then I use like the white and like this kind of beige color to kind of do like a tiled design. You can get a lot more creative with it, but for me, I think just something as simple as this is nice. I could do this for the entire house and that would save us so much money, but it just doesn't look very realistic when I do that. For the rest of the space in these rooms, I'm going to use this wood flooring from Spooky Stuff. It just fits the vibes. And for the wallpapers, thankfully we do have quite the variety of cheap wallpapers. I'm going to use this one right here from Parenthood. It's just this one with the wainscoting. I think it looks just so realistic. I'm going to use it in the parents' room as well. For the bathroom, I'm going to use this tile here. I just think that this color matches that color pretty well. And then for the kids' room, I am going to give them something fun. I was looking around and I found these. These are quite cute. I don't know. They're kind of unassuming and simple, but I really like them. It's from the For Rent pack. You could honestly just use something like this or something, but I just feel like this fits in with the vibes of the house being like kind of like a wooden little cabin kind of vibe. I haven't even looked at the budget. We're at $3,000. Don't worry. I'm going to get rid of these lights in the bedrooms because those are really not that necessary for what I'm doing. I'm going to place down a little bed for the child right here and then a bed for the parents. Now, this one is very specific. If you have Eco Lifestyle, there is a bed that is 25 simoleons. It's a lifesaver in these kinds of builds because otherwise we would literally have nothing. So that helps out a lot. For the bathroom, I'm going to use, of course, the cheapest one. It's this 150 simoleon, like outhouse looking one. You know what? It's fine. And I could forego a bathroom sink if I wanted just to save a little bit of money, but thankfully we have this one that came with that artist studio kit. It's 115 simoleons. It's a little bit cheaper than this, basic one. I actually like the vibes too. It looks like an industrial sink. Of course, we're going to use the shower from the Discover University pack. There are a few other alternatives that you could probably use, like this one from Outdoor Retreat, but for me, this one just works the best because for this kind of space where it's so small, putting a shower like right here means that they can still access everything without it being like kind of awkward and fiddly. And then for the kitchen, it's going to be pretty simple too. We're using the absolute cheapest refrigerator. It is 215 simoleons. And then I did decide to use a nice counter. However, this one is 30 simoleons cheaper. I don't know why I didn't use this one in my original plans. This one's from Horse Ranch. I mean, it does fit the vibes quite perfectly. If I do say so myself. I kind of want to use a nice color, maybe the blue or the green. Oh, I quite like that. We could just go with the wooden one though, because it's very simple. And then for the stove, we're going with the absolute cheapest stove as well. That one. I am going to put a sink in here just for practicality's sake. And the next thing is for sure going to be a couch. Now, this is where it gets a little bit expensive for sure. The absolute cheapest couch that you can buy is 195 simoleons. That's cheap, honestly. And all 3 sims can sit there. I mean, and put it to perspective, this one chair is 70 simoleons. Let's do some math. Okay, this one is 195, right? If this is 70 simoleons, if we can find a love seat that adds up to be cheaper, I don't think we can, to be honest. So yeah, it is significantly cheaper to just buy this one couch. And then you could stop there. And it is a fully functional home. We're at 4,588 to be exact. It's a fully functional home. We don't need anything else to survive here. In fact, you are actively trying to be broke if you use this home the way it is, because honestly, you could just have your sims go around and find a few crystals or dig up some, spots or whatever on the map and just boom, you've got like a couple hundred simoleons. There you go. We could leave out the TV and that would be fine, but there is a cheap TV right here. It's the vintage antenna TV from Eco Lifestyle. This is actually one that you can find in Debug, and it's just a little tiny little TV. Now, finding a cheap little table to put this on, let me tell you, I tried finding the absolute cheapest display to put this TV on, and it does not sit on almost any of them, which is very much so a shame. This coffee table is 30 simoleons, but it doesn't really fit very well. It does make the TV work, you know, and I could put it like right there. That technically works. Is it practical? Absolutely not. But your Sims can still walk around it. It bothers me just a little bit, not gonna lie. What if I flip this around, honestly? I feel like that wouldn't be a bad thing. I kind of don't mind that. Is there another little coffee table? This one's 55 simoleons, and it is very cute, and the TV does sit on it. That isn't so bad, but it is kind of awkward looking. So I think I might actually just forego that. Let's see if possibly we can find just like a little shelf that can have some books on it or something. Ooh, there's this right here. It's 30 simoleons. It's really cute too. It came with Eco Lifestyle also. That's kind of a goat. If you're looking for a pack for starter homes, Eco Lifestyle. We'll go to storage, and then we will look under the bookshelves category, because thankfully, some time ago, it's been a while, they made it to where these little stacks of books and stuff actually acted as a bookshelf, which makes sense because they're books. Makes a decor item functional. There is something from Cottage Living that's literally 10 simoleons that has got books on it. Like this, altogether, this whole thing with the shelf and the books is 40 simoleons. The cheapest, like, actual bookshelf is 135. So, like, we saved a lot of money doing that. And it also adds a little bit of decor. For the living room, I'm not just going to leave it blank because thankfully the knitting pack adds in a little rug. Now, technically you have to craft this in order to get it, but if you use cheats, you can get a nice little rug. It's 0 simoleons. It doesn't add to the budget whatsoever, and you can use it in every room if you wanted. That would help add in some, you know, decor, warm up the spaces a little bit. We can even make this one like a like teal kind of color for this like kids room here and shrink it down. This mirror is kind of expensive, but I mean, it's not expensive. It's 40 simoleons. It's kind of big for this space, but I kind of like putting that there. That way they have a proper mirror to use. And technically that's all they need to change clothes, by the way. That's all they literally need. So, and then I did also want to add in some little side tables in here as well. The cheapest side tables are actually not technically side tables. They are these little displays that came with Dream Home Decorator. There is these as well that came with High School Years, but I just like these from Dream Home Decorator a little bit better because of the wood tones. You probably can't see very well, but I'm going to place 2 of them. They fit really well too in these like 3 tile wide rooms, and then we can just go in and add some lights. The cheapest ones that we have are these from the Eco Lifestyle pack. We might as well use it because that's the pack that basically made this possible. We can put a couple of those right there. It's very dark, but it's a bedroom, so I'm not super concerned. And then we'll do the same for this room, but I am actually going to give them a little bit of a nicer little lamp. This one's from City Living. And let's see, let me just make sure that there's like a proper, you know, proper like set in here. And then we just put that right there. So we're left with 187. We're left with 187 simoleons still, which is actually pretty great. What about curtains? Curtains aren't really that functional, and they're 35 simoleons a piece. Technically, I could just put like one maybe like right here. That does make it look a lot nicer in here. I'm going to use the tool mod real fast. You don't really need to do this, but I just thought it'd be kind of fun. We'll do 0.25. Oh wait, negative 0.25. You can put in negative numbers and it makes the items go down instead of up. Negative 0.1. There we go. It's kind of hard to place down curtains on windows, so that works. Okay. All right, that makes it look a little bit more finished in this living room area. How about we add in maybe either a skill building item or maybe even like a dining space? That might be a little bit more practical. So I moved the house back ever so slightly. I kind of want to move it more like right here, because then maybe, you know, your Sims can expand and put a garden space right here. In fact, let's move on to the outside. Let's focus on that. I didn't finish the roofing here. I got a little bit ahead of myself, as I usually do. We'll just add a nice little trim. Thankfully, roofing and like other things like that are completely free. Now, somebody actually mentioned recently in a comment that they were wondering how I got the roofing underneath the eaves, which hopefully that's going to be a feature. I really hope it is one day. But there is this Eco-Luster composite roof. It is like a thatched roof. There's also this from the Island Living Pack as well. For some reason, they actually are underneath the eaves as well, which looks so good. And honestly, I kind of really like the way that looks, to be honest. Ooh, I kind of think I am going to use this werewolves one though, just because it looks so perfect for this world. Technically, you don't even need to have any like planters or anything when it comes to garden spaces or where you can plant crops, if that's your jargon. But what I'm going to do essentially is I'm just going to go in and just kind of make my own little plots using some terrain paint. I think I'll just do like that maybe. Maybe I'll do like another one right here. And then this can just be like where your Sims kind of have like their own little garden. I always add this into my spaces, especially like family homes and country homes and stuff like that, because growing up, that's kind of what we had. You know, it was how we were able to save money, was, you know, growing our own stuff. And plus, you know, it's just part of our culture here in the Appalachians to at least know how to do that stuff for the most part. So yeah, we'll just kind of fence it off with this debug fencing since it is 100% free. I think I may actually just do a bit of adjusting to this so that it's more even. Yeah, this is really speaking to me right now because I have been obsessed with Animal Crossing once again. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying once again. I've always been obsessed with it ever since I picked it up so many years ago. But yeah, I've been really into it lately. It's been so fun. I've been recently creating like a little garden like area in my island, which, you know, if you all would like to chime in, I don't know exactly when I will do this, but one day I would really love to maybe create some Animal Crossing content here on the channel. I could even make it members only if that's what would work. Let's focus on the landscaping, and I'll definitely be adding some more things, I think. I do need to add probably some kind of skill building item. So we need to find a skill building item that's cheap, but also I can use to create more money, essentially, like to gain more money without having to spend money. Because of course, an easel, hands down one of the best items, but you need money to buy canvases to be able to paint those paintings, so they can be kind of expensive. I guess the cheapest thing really just to get started with is maybe the knitting stuff. That's probably the same issue, but this is only 50 simoleons, so it is a little bit cheaper to kind of get started. I might just put it like right here. It also just looks really cute and it adds a little bit of something in there. All right, and we have 62 simoleons left. Yikes. Oh goodness. Let's see. What other little activities? We need to find something that is good for the kid as well, because they need something to do. There's a little jar of marbles. I don't know if that's actually an activity that they can do. We can at least add some little toys or something. There is a little thing of bubbles. I don't know if that's unlimited. I'm not really sure if they just go through it in one use, or we can just give them a little horse. Let's just give them a little horse toy there. We're left with 32 simoleons left. So I gotta do something. Let's see. I'm trying to find, oh, this is cute. Maybe the kid made this in school. We'll put that like right there. That adds some decor there. Oh, we got to give them some toilet paper for sure. Without question, they got to have a little roll of toilet paper in here. That would be such a shame. Oh, and then some toothbrush kind of moment. This one is 30 simoleons. Ooh, we don't have enough money for that. Oh, goodness. Well, what else in here is something that they can use? Let's go to activities and skills possibly again and see if there's like anything that's fairly cheap. We have what, 27 simoleons, or is that 17? You know, I really am not good at math anymore. That's pretty sad. Wait a minute. We can do this. This is perfect. So it's 5 simoleons, but it's called prairie grass. This is from Horse Ranch. If I place this down, I can place it down in maybe like a couple areas because it's only 5 simoleons. I'm actually going to do that. So like that leaves us with literally 2 simoleons left, but these little patches of grass, I know they kind of stand out awkwardly, but hear me out. Your Sims can actually every few days like cut them down and find things in them, and they can make so much money. Like they can just find like wine in them. So like it's kind of cheaty, but like in the best way possible. Well, we did it, y'all. That's it for the actual like purchasable items. We're at 4,998 simoleons, which is pretty wild. I am going to add a mailbox. I didn't add a trash can. Oh dear, that's a little bit of a pickle. For some reason, mailboxes are 0 simoleons, but trash cans are not. So I'm gonna look in debug and see if there's something that I can use. Shady trash can. Does this function as a trash can? Because it's 1 simoleon. We'll just say that it is, possibly. Yeah. We'll do that. All right, that literally puts it at 4,999 simoleons, which honestly is pretty dang perfect. Now what we can do is go in and just landscape. I'm going to filter by base game and werewolves so that I can use the items that came with the werewolves pack, particularly so that it kind of blends in with the world a little bit. And this is going to look a little bit more on the wild side too, because, you know, I think that that would work the best for here in this area. We'll put some grass maybe back here because maybe they don't really, you know, worry about the backyard too much because they're not back here. Maybe we can also put some grass on the side over here as well. And then maybe just some other grass. Let's look around. There are these like little bush kind of moments that you can actually get with this pack. It's just like these, I guess. We can just put those around. Ooh, that actually looks really, really nice. And we'll just kind of plorp them down wherever it feels right. This area is based off of the Pacific Northwest, particularly in the United States here. So if any of you all are from that area, let me know. I always am asking these questions when it comes to like landscaping and stuff because I just like to know these things. You know, how do you all landscape, you know, particularly homes? Because like obviously I can do this and make it look wild and free and everything because we're in, you know, the country, the wilderness, the woods, you know. And then just to kind of help blend this in, of course, I can put some stumps, some trees. These trees are absolutely beautiful. Like I am obsessed with these trees. They're huge, but oh my goodness, can we just talk about how pretty they are? There's also some dead ones. There's ones that are like trimmed at the bottom. I don't know if that's realistic to just have a bunch of trees like so close. Probably isn't like at all, but at the same time, it's like, come on, you know, it's about the vibes. We'll do some like smaller trees, and then we should also do some like normal trees too, like this one, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. There's going to be a lot of trees around this house for sure. Oh, one thing I meant to add was a light on the front porch. Oops. Let's look and see. Maybe there's a light that is debug, that is 0 simoleons, that while it may not add really any light, we can at least see if there's like something that can help. This isn't adding light, but it adds the idea of light. It's just this outdoor light. We have to use move objects to put it up. Oh wait, it does add a little bit of light. Hold on, I didn't know that. Cute. Or maybe that's actually just the windows, but you know, at the same time, we'll just put it here and just say that it works. That's actually very cute. And I think we probably should also go in and add in some rocks or something if we can. These are 0 simoleons, so they tend to, you know, be, you know, usable. We'll just kind of place them around here. And honestly, let's take a look once again at the debug lights here. And I know that these aren't going to be very functional, like as in they don't work at all. But I want some kind of light out here for the plants. I wonder if these like little ones, they are lit up technically. They aren't really doing anything, but at least it looks like there's something here, and that's sometimes more of the point. Honestly, that kind of looks okay. This home has come in at about 4,999 simoleons. Did we build a house for under 5,000 simoleons? We absolutely did. Now, this easily could be done differently. with the use of like roof pieces and maybe even a few pieces of wall placed in a way that could be a more efficient house, but it would be kind of hard to play in. I've played in those before. They're a little bit fiddly, they're a little bit tricky. And this is like a normal little house. I mean, it's pretty well furnished. There's not like a ton in here, but I think I added a few items to just add a little bit of extra detailing, like this little flower thing that, came with Parenthood. We've got like this little shelf here with the books on top. We've got a little bathroom. We have a little kids room here. There's not really anything but a little horse toy, but hey, they have a toy. The parents' room is probably the worst room, let's be honest. They don't really have much in here at all, but it's a bedroom, so I'm not super concerned about that, but that is the build. I know it was a bit of a quicker one today, but I just wanted to try this idea out. But yeah, do let me know what you think of this home. I will also show you really quickly the floor plan here. So if you wanted to recreate this yourself, you can. Also, by all means, I'm going to upload this to the gallery under my username, luccaowens. If you want to download it and renovate it yourself, by all means do so. I don't mind. But anyways, that's pretty much it for today. Quick little video. I thought just to kind of do something new. I just want to say a big thank you to my YouTube members, the Lavender Buds. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel, being there. I love your lovely comments. I love your feedback. I love, just hearing from you guys when you watch my videos a little early. It's just a nice little bit of excitement. If you would like to become a YouTube member, you will get early access to my videos whenever I finish a video, upload it, and schedule it and whatever. You can watch it anytime. And also, I am making members only videos as well. About once a week, I'm going to be doing some save file planning videos where I just kind of sit and brainstorm my save file, my forever save file. It's really fun. I just kind of fiddle around in The Sims and I go into my Milanote and just kind of draw up some ideas. It's really all over the place, but it's really fun to do. I really enjoy those videos. And yeah, that's kind of all I have for you all today. Do let me know in the comments down below what you think of this build and if you have any other build ideas like this one. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. And if you're already at this point and you haven't already, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? It would actually be really awesome. My goal for this year is a little bit of a steep one. I would love to hit 50,000 simoleons by the end of this year, but I also wouldn't mind if I just hit 45. That would be a really good goal too. So yeah, that's really it. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird, and I'll speak to y'all next time. Bye, y'all.